hold it like that. It's already freaking, all right. Ah! Help! I'm trapped in a cage, said the cake. I don't know. Despite of my rage, I'm still just a cake in Julia Child's cage. What?
Oh! Bon appetit.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my home. Get comfortable, I do insist. 'Tis Jamie and Julia episode 151. That's a good place to be. We're going back to From Julia Child's kitchen cookbook. And I have found this. A glittering dessert that will dazzle your guests. That's you. Or if you want to dazzle your own guests, be my guest. Gâteau in a cage. Cake in a cage. It's a layer cake filled with all the classic Julia Child goodies and then enclosed with a cage. So this is a new one for me. Just when I thought I've seen all the various creative and weird ways to serve cakes, I got a new one. And I haven't shied away from sharing my struggles with the cake making process over the course of several years, nearing a decade. 8 years. But I gotta say, I'm not too concerned with the cake part of this. I think I got this one. It's more about the cage, because it is made out of caramel, and that can be tricky. I feel like I've had enough caramel practice throughout the last little bit that I'm ready for this. Gonna burn my fingers? Maybe. Hopefully not. But I'm ready for this. Let's see what happens. Please say hello to my little friend. It's the Silver Fox. Silver Fox. All right, so we got a few options here with the cake. How do you proceed? Store-bought? Not on my watch, not today. Yellow cake, a genoise cake, or almond cake. So I'm going with the almond because that sounds interesting, and I think I know I've made one of Julia's almond cakes before, but I forget. So she's going into detail here on how to put together this specific cake, because she says, why would you want a smaller, heavier one when you can have a lighter and bigger one? She's broken it all down very specifically. Some of the choices that she makes may be a little out of date, but that's what we do over here, out-of-date steps. The first step I gotta do here, as according to Julia. Sifter and all-purpose flour, 1/3 cup worth, sifted onto wax paper. Put that aside for a hot minute here. Most cakes that you follow, you start off with the butter, and you cream that together, then you add the sugar. But she's saying to, thank you. She says to start off with the eggs and the sugar, because yes, that is gonna give us that bigger and lighter cake. So, okay. Now what she says to do here is set your mixing bowl into a bowl of warm water. Only if your eggs are currently chilled. If the eggs are chilled when you start mixing everything up, it's gonna congeal up the butter, which is to go in later. So we don't want that. Stir it together for a little bit, take off the chill. Very important. All right, I'd say that is sufficiently warmed a little bit. So what I'm gonna do is add in 3/4 cup of sugar, gradually, 1/4 teaspoon of almond extract. So I'm just gonna move this, but what I'm doing is beating this for 5 minutes until it turns into like a thick mixture, like a heavy mayonnaise, her words. All right, keep it going. Stick of butter, cut it up into pieces. Small bowl, thank you. Bring back over that bowl of warm water, and then, I gotta add the butter into this bowl. Gonna beat this butter to soften it. All right, so replace that warm water with cold water, and now that butter goes back on top, and I beat it until it's creamy. The consistency of a heavy mayonnaise. All right, so 2 mayonnaise things going on at the same time. I guess mayonnaise with the butter and mayonnaise with the egg mixture. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's just 2 different types of mayonnaise, right? Sure. I guess this is one way to make a cake. I had to take 2 spoonfuls of the egg mixture in with the butter. Stir that together and then bring the egg mixture back over here. What's this knife doing here? So remember that 1/3 cup of sifted flour. I have that there. 3/4 cup of ground almonds around these parts. I call that almond flour. And I need a rubber spatula. I'm gonna be using chalk for this. Alternating between the flour and the almond flour. Fold it all in. And some of the flour. And repeat, and repeat. Fold it in, up and over, down, up and over, down, up and over. Once everything is almost absorbed, bring the butter over here, add it in by the scoopfuls. Fold it in. Interesting steps, huh? That is all incorporated. And I gotta immediately pour this into a prepared cake pan with, it's greased, it's got the parchment paper circle in there. It's a 9-incher. Bang the pan once, lightly, to settle the batter. Oven set to 350 degree F. I gotta bake this for around 30 minutes. Good luck. 22 minutes later, the cake looks done to me. The top is supposed to feel spongy if you press it with a finger, and the faintest hairline of shrinkage around the pan. Had this hanging out on this rack for the last 10 minutes. This took 30 minutes minus 8 minutes to bake. Now let me unmold it. Abracadabra, and that is not as thick as annoying. It's friggin' annoying because of all those crazy steps that I had to do to get to this, and it didn't even do anything. So I would just omit everything that I just did, throw everything to a mixer, bake the damn cake. Anyway, she says that it was supposed to be 1.5 inches, and this is probably only 1 inch, if that. So we're 1/2 inch short. All right, let's make this cage here out of caramel. First, we gotta make a caramel syrup, but before we get to any of that, I need a bowl. It needs to be 10 inches in diameter, 6 inches deep. Do you have that in your arsenal? Oh, I know you. So this is actually the cage mold. You gotta flip it upside down, butter it up heavily. I don't have any freaking... Yeah, okay, you gotta butter it up. All I have is cold butter. I don't wanna deal with cold butter. You gotta butter it up, but in my case, I'm gonna be using Baker's Joy. It just needs to be greased up, and I think... whatever. Greased up with butter. 9-inch cake pan, 1.5 inches high, and then I need to do the same with this. This is gonna be the bottom part of our cage. Okay, now you need a saucepan. I'm using 1.5 cups of sugar. Book says 1 cup of sugar, but I really need this cage to make up for the dainty little effing thing. So 1.5 cups of sugar, 1/2 cup of corn syrup, and 2/3 cup of warm water. And I need to add them together. However you can blend that. Maybe with a whisk. Einstein. So blend it up, and then that goes in with the sugar. Onto my highest heat to a boil. While the sugar's coming up to a boil, I've decided to remove the Baker's Joy and just use the damn butter. It wasn't a big deal. I made it a bigger deal than it was, and well, I've fixed my mistake, so we're all good. So once that's up to a boil, take it off for a heat for a moment, continue to swirl and make sure that sugar has dissolved. Cover it up, boil for 3 to 4 minutes. When the bubbles are large and thick, the caramel stage is almost at hand. Stand over the syrup every moment from now on. Swirling pan gently by handle from time to time, and in a minute or so, the syrup will begin to turn a golden color. Okay, so once that starts turning a golden color, you gotta immediately take it off the heat, as it's gonna continue to cook and darken slightly for a few seconds. Immediately begin to lift spoonfuls of syrup and dribble back into the pan off the tip of the spoon. Continue until syrup cools enough to form a thick, heavy thread. And then you keep it on a very low heat so that it remains that heavy thread consistency. And then I can breathe and do something else. I'm gonna go over here. With the, geez, it's stringy. So with the caramel, I have an oven mitt on my hand for protection. And I gotta hold the bowl upside down and start swirling the threads of the caramel over and off the end of the spoon, making interlocking webs of spiral. I wish the camera was focused. There's too much action going on right here. I gotta fix that. I don't like that. Oh my God. Be careful, you don't want to get too big a thread on there. Oh shit. Okay. Hold it like that. It's already freaking, all right. Ha! I don't need the freaking glove. There's that one area that's getting a little too much attention. Keep it. I caught that in the air. I don't know what to do. I'm gonna. If I let this drop, the game is over. Oh my God, I saved it. Everyone, give me a round of applause. Okay. Just need to fix that. Let's place that down for a second. Frickin' hell. So I'm gonna just heat up this remaining sugar because I'm gonna need it for the other part. So with the caramel still kind of warm to touch, very gently push the web of the caramel toward the bottom of the bowl from the edges all around until you can feel and see it loosen. Okay, I know. Just loosen it. Oh my God. Oh. She says it may not work for you the first time. And my response to that is, oh, really? What do I do with this though? I don't know, what the hell do you want me to do with this? Okay, I'll just keep it there, I guess. I don't know. Okay, so that was fantastic. And then we're gonna do the same with the bottom part of the cage. No protective glove this time, just going for it. Only live once. Ow! Providing you just do it like this, I think you're okay. You don't even need to hold it. There, okay. I'm happy with that. Oh, we got a stringy, we got a burning over here. Okay, and then we gotta get this one off somehow, some way. I think I let this one firm up a little too much. Sticks. Son of a gun. Son of a gun, son of a gun. Okay, whatever. I got it. I got it. I got it. I got it. Most of it, I can piece it together. Holy cannoli. So I got both pieces of my cage. You can keep it wherever the hell you want, fridge or whatever, oven. I'm gonna be using this very shortly, so I think if I just keep it off to the side. Now we gotta put together all the various fillings. They're not very complicated. Half a cup of warm water and a quarter cup of sugar. It needs to dissolve in there. Teaspoon of vanilla. Cross that off the list. Next up, your choice of jam. I'm going with strawberry. And I need half a cup of it. Add in 3 tablespoons of water. I gotta melt that together. Okay, so we gotta make a creme chantilly. However you wanna say it. I used to struggle with that one back in the day, and now I've settled on creme chantilly. Well, It's got to be small enough to fit into this other bowl that has ice cold water. Pour in around just over a cup worth of heavy cream. So I beat this until it thickens. It's around 3 to 4 minutes. There's this whole thing I got to do where I'm like moving the beater in a specific way to incorporate as much air into the cream as possible. Check it out. She says you're never gonna have problems beating air into cream if you do it over ice. Hot tip, cold tip. So just before using this cream, and I think we're pretty darn close, I need to sift in half a cup of icing sugar, as well as half a teaspoon of vanilla. Eyeball it. And then we fold it in. Last thing we need is fresh fruit. It just says you need them, but I'm just gonna make the assumption that what the heck, yucky, yuck. I mean, I've seen better strawberries out there. I'm just gonna slice them like that because they're gonna be acting as the filling. It is a time to assemble this cake. I got all my pieces. First, what I gotta do is laugh at this ridiculously thin cake. What I was supposed to do is slice through this twice so that you'd have 3 different cake layers. But I'm gonna be lucky if I can even do it once. I wish I had that thing. Remember that thing? Take a look at this thing. It's for cakes. I can't remember what it's called. Does everything need some sort of cool name? It's clearly just this thing. This cake is thin. Just slicing it in half like that is a fool's errand. So, well, I did it. I did do it. So I need my cake stand, that caramel case bottom, which was the one that kind of on the sides, just, I can piece that together. It's not a big deal. The bottom layer of cake, which is a sad sack, but it's gonna work. And that cake fits in there like a glove. Sprinkle a tablespoon of that sugar syrup onto this cake. The melted jelly spread and paint it on. Spread the chantilly cream on top of that. I'm gonna have plenty of filling to work with here because my cake was so petite. And then I'm gonna arrange the strawberries. Second layer cake on top. Said to place it crumb side up. I wonder why. And sprinkle more of the sugar syrup on top. And the remaining jelly that I don't think you're ready for. Chantilly creme. Chantilly creme. It says to decoratively add strawberries. Not really good at this decoration stuff, so I'll just this is my weakness, but I think I really pulled it off. It's just like a little bit of a flower pattern on top. It's really nice. So we gotta get that caramel dome on top. Am I gonna need to trim it or is it gonna fit? The thing is sharp. I think you just need to break it in a few pieces there because it's a little too, there you go. Okay, it's not exactly what I envisioned just yet. I think I need to just do a little bit of surgery with this. I think that's what it needed. There you go. Cake in a cage. Order up. Ah. So I know that we just put it together, but now I gotta break it. I gotta tap it. Can I have a quiet on set? It's just me here. And the cage is down. Cut it into pie-like slices, and then a little of the caramel goes with each slice, of course. Oh! Just a little more wouldn't hurt, right? The almond cake is very good. It goes along great with the fresh strawberries, and then the other strawberry flavor in there with the jam, and then the creme chantilly, which I really like as well. It's just everything about it is light and fresh, but sweet and good. Now we've come to the cage, which is of course the crunchy part to it, but caramel, what's not to love about that? And it's a show-off move, right? For friends and family, you can provide some entertainment, and for enemies and foes, well, look what I... Right? That's the right type of challenge for me. Difficult enough, get you sweating a little bit, but at the same time, everything turned out in the end. Solid afternoon making that thing. It didn't even take that long. No bragging there, but also, yeah, there is a cleanup involved. Everything is sticky and there's just caramel pieces everywhere. So, all right, I'm gonna skedaddle. Nothing else to say about the subject. There is a beginning, a middle, and an end. Case closed. This was Jamie and Julia. Bon appetit. Au revoir.